Sorry about that, guys. My stream just kind of cut out there for a second. It's all good though. So real quick, as I was saying, even if your opponent is constantly guarding using this attack, as long as the high lands, when I say lands, I mean even if it gets blocked, as long as it makes contact with your opponent, you get yourself a free 2-back 4. Or really a free 2-back 3 as well if you want it. But back 2, back 4 does a lot more damage. You know, that's like what, 6+ damage. So I'll take 6+ damage any day. And they can't duck it either. Like, they're screwed taking it. That kind of makes Whoring cheap. It probably makes him one of the cheapest characters in the game for that, but I still love him. And it doesn't really make it super cheap because it can still be ducked. So it's really all about how much your opponent is paying attention to you. So that's pretty much all of his moves for his right foot forward stance. So now we're going to go straight into his left flamingo stance. So his left flamingo stance doesn't have a lot of moves that are worth talking about. We have about 12 moves worth mentioning, which is really, there's his one attack, which is just quick jab. This is going to be like your quick way to get out of left flamingo. You also have his 2 attack, which is just his rusty knife attack, you know, just like in his left foot forward. You have his 3-3, which, keep in mind, if this lands, or my fault, you get yourself a free forward 3, neutral 3-3. Or forward 3, neutral 3, my fault. So that's really, really useful that's really useful for when it lands. And as you saw a moment ago, this is basically the same concept, which is just left foot forward 3-3-3, and then you forward 3, neutral 3. So keep that in mind. That's really, really good. Another move would be his 3-4. Puts you in right flamingo. But we'll get more into the moves that put him in stances in a second, or in a few minutes. You also have his forward 3, which is one of the moves he inherited from Beck. It is also a counter hit launcher. So that's definitely something to whip out every now and again. Another thing he has is his forward 4-3. Again, this is not natural in any way. However, it puts you straight into right foot forward. So you get yourself a free forward 3. Another move would be his while in flamingo stance, his down 3-4. He has down 4, which is a launcher, technically. So I should have saved that for later. But it's still a good little thing to pull out every now and again. Just every now and again. I wouldn't do it a lot, but it's definitely worth pulling out every now and again. Yeah, his down back 4, which is named the combat low. I would whip this out a lot. It's fairly safe, even on block. It's not launch punishable at the very least. So that's something to definitely make sure I point out. You have his back one, which is the same exact thing as his standing, as his left foot forward. The only reason I would definitely use this more, as a matter of fact, I do use this more, is because if you do his left flamingo feint and then go straight into it, you'll end up being at their back, and you should have more than enough time to grab them and do your nice 60 damage grab from behind. So that's definitely worth knowing or doing. You also have his back three, which makes this move the second move so far to be a shield, homing, and screw attack all in one. So that's definitely 100% worth using and abusing. And then finally, out of his left flamingo stance, you have his back four. Oh, well, I'll get to that in a little bit. His back four, which again, I would use this a lot coming out of it. I would actually use this a lot more than the low, because when people see this, they actually expect, a lot of advanced players expect a low. So I'll end up doing this, or I'll do this, and it will get blocked or low parried. So that's something to keep in mind. Let's see. And now, last but not least, we have his right flamingo stance. And honestly, this has the least amount of moves worth knowing, but actually has one of the moves that makes this stance really, really unique. I'll show you that in a moment. So again, right stance. If you're in left foot forward, it's forward, neutral 4. Or if you're like me, you could just do forward 4 and just attack to get there. We'll get into those moves in a few. But so you got his 2, which is just his normal jab. And you got his 1, which is basically his rusty knife from, but using his left hand instead. You have his 4 poke, which I actually use this one a lot, because it's one of the few moves that reach after you do it. Like, this move doesn't reach no more, because unfortunately this move isn't as valuable as it used to be, since they took away that range, or since they gave it a lot of pushback. But it's still very, very useful. You have your forward 3-4. Which, if that last hit does knock him down, just like before with the 3-3 strings, you get yourself a free forward 3, neutral 3. You have yourself and then you also have your forward 4 little poke. So that's really, really good. You have your down 3, which is just your cutter, which is your cutter low, or whatever you want to call it, from your right flamingo stance. And you have your back 4, which makes this his 3rd and final shield, screw, and homing attack. So his last stance, let's see here. His last 2 stances is, well, I guess it really depends on the kind of person you are, whether you actually consider these stances. I do, because out of this, you have your 4 launcher. You have your 4 launcher. Shit. You have your 4 launcher, which, you know, whatever. And then, which that's pretty much it. as far as that move is concerned. And then you have your 3 launcher from your back turned. All right, yeah, your back turned right foot forward. You have your 3 attack, your 3 launcher, I should say. You have your 4 attack. Shit. You have your 4 attack, which you can just do 4-3 to do, and it does force crouch. And then you have your down 3. I don't think these moves are actually listed in the move list anymore, so a lot of people don't even know that these moves exist. But this is really good move from his back turned. Let's see. I don't even know, dude. Are they? Left stance back towards enemy 4. So that's the first one I mentioned. That's, you know, you do your 3+4 and 1+2, or you could do your 1+2 and then 3+4. Doesn't matter. And then 4. All right, so they are okay. So a lot of people don't actually know that these moves exist. However, this move is probably one of the more useful out of it, because say you're one of those people that do that, you have 3 options. You can do this, you can do this, or you can do this. So it's really useful to know those. And that's pretty much it for his stances and his poking and key moves and stuff like that. Now I'm going to show you guys his 3 grabs that are 100% worth knowing, especially for Hwoarang. I would say 4, but the other is very situational, obviously, and I'll point that out in a second. The first one is 4-2+3. I like to use this one when I want to switch sides. Like, you do something like this, and you do something and you mess up, and you end up being on the other side. And if you're like me, you absolutely suck on the right hand side. You know, so like I can't do my JFSR anymore. Like I suck on the right hand side. So I'll just do 4, 3+2+3, and then bam, you're on the other side. It doesn't always do that though. Sometimes you'll do it, and it won't actually put you on the other side. It's just kind of being lucky with me right now. Your next one is going to be your down quarter circle back 3. And to clarify better on how exactly to do that, it's going to be down, down, back, back. And if you guys see at on the command list down below on the right hand side, you can see how I ended up doing that. And then when you hit back is going to be when you hit the 3. You don't have to be exact either, but you want to actually make sure that your input gets in. And like I told you guys before, I absolutely suck on the right hand side, so that's why I'm messing up. So let's get on the other side here. There it is. See, it doesn't always work, but if you're, so that's nice to whip out every now and again. And then your last grab worth knowing, and this is Hwoarang's best grab, and any Hwoarang player has used this for that extra damage. You're going to put yourself in right foot forward, which is 3+4, and then just a simple grab button. It could be 1+3 or 2+4, it doesn't matter, and you'll get yourself your grab, and that is +50 on damage, and that's no matter what. And your last grab, and I've shown you guys this just a few minutes ago, is my bad. Is when back, get to their back, and then grab, and that's pretty much all that one is. So now that we've gotten all that situated, let's talk about his moves into his stances. Hwoarang has a lot of moves that put him into stances.